Welcome to Profiletraders. This is Reza and you're listening to my market analysis for November the 17th. We are looking at a chart of ES here, S&P E-mini futures, and it is very clear that market is now very close to make a brand new all-time high. And we can look at this a bit more in details by looking at our daily chart. So this flat top here, which in my book was never a clean top that I would have considered as a top that would be holding for a while. Usually good tops are tops that have a blow up on the upside, then as it explodes up, it traps a whole bunch of people, and then you get a very nasty reversal, close at a very low with a very large candle in place, and that usually puts in good tops. Tops that are hesitant as this here and kind of flat are most of the time challenged, sometimes in the future, and it is the case here. But here's the problem that I have. The problem that I have is that we are up here near record high with an attempt to break this top. But the problem that we have is that we have already come up from 2000 almost 30 to 2184. So we have already seen a tremendous reversal and buying that has kicked into this market. And at the same time, I am looking at my indicator down there. I see that as we are coming for the break of this top, I do not see much of a enthusiasm on the buying side. So two things will happen from here. One, by tonight or by tomorrow, we break today's high, which we are very close to it, and upon doing so, it's going to explode parabolically up, and that will be a combination of a bunch of long-term stops that are resting near this all-time high being taken out, and program buys that are programmed to buy any break up will kick in, and then market will explode. And as the market will explode, I have two targets. Obviously 2200, which is a round number, is a very logical number to go hit, and after that 2250 is my ultimate upside target. Or we are going to come tomorrow morning, we're gonna see a marginal break above today's high by maybe 4 points, 5 points, 6 points, and then we will find that overnight will close at its very bottom range. If that is the case, I will consider this upside break attempt as a failure, and if that's the case, market is very ripped and ready for a correction back down. I understand that the president-elect has a fabulous economic plan, tax cuts, investment spending, lower regulation, easing of Dodd-Frank, etc. But let's not forget that nothing has been done yet. While the way market has been acting is that everything already is in place and the economy is growing at 4, 5, 6%, and there is nothing to worry about. So I personally believe market is a little bit ahead of itself and very ready for some pullback and a retracement of this tremendous move up if from these levels we start to see hesitation going up. I also have other big concern, which is this catastrophic, disastrous chart of euro, which we are looking at, which is now at 1.06405. We are retesting this triple bottom here. If we break this and go to parity, I can assure you that you're gonna hear about it all over the news. Absolute total disaster for the euro, which is very, very, very close to parity. I understand that it's a strong dollar is good. I understand that maybe this is what the Central Bank of Europe wants, because cheap euro means cheaper export, means more spending coming to Europe because everything is cheaper. But I am never ever in favor of this type of crash taking place, because when they do take place, somewhere they create problems, asset classes get hurt, institutions get hurt, and the consequences could become quite significant. The other chart worth not noticing are 30 years bond. Absolute total state of a collapse. When this happens, price of bond collapses as you are witnessing it happening. Yields and interest rates go up. Right now you look at the 30 years mortgage, it has already gone up by 0.5 point of a percent, or 0.5%, without even the Fed having hiked rates. Credit card rates are going up. All kind of rates are going up. So while we have a collapse of the euro versus the dollar, we have an absolute collapse on a daily basis of bonds where rates are going up. Market in a complete total state of bullishness, ignoring everything. So how long will this last is to be watched, but one must be starting to be very careful here. Now in terms of support, the first level of support that I have on the way down is 21.79. Once we break that, it should be a peanut to come break today's low, because it's really not much of a big range that we have here at 21.73.75. After that we have a POC at 21.67.5. that would become a target. Then if this is cleared, I believe that this whole area here will be attacked quite easily all the way down to 21.58, and then obviously we are going to be dealing with a low here at 21.52, and then below that we have to see, because we are far away from it. On the way up 2200, and then after that 2250. Again, in order to do that, I need to see decisive break off of the high that we are at. Otherwise this could become a very, very painful failure, and market is very ready for a pullback. Now let's go back and look at what we said during the last video about crude. I showed you a daily chart, which you can go look at my last video. I told you that there was a big possibility that we would come for a test of this trend line, which was a past trend line projected into the future, and that was calling for 47 touch. Well, 47.10 was the high of today, and from that point on we got a complete total meltdown reversal to the downside for very good reason. Why would oil be bullish when we yesterday alone discovered oil reserves worth of 900 billion in Texas alone. You have every single emerging market from China to India to you name it going into a slowdown. You have every OPEC country that is strapped and need cash, except Iran, where their big buddy Hossein Obama gave them $150 billion, but that's besides the point. Everyone else is in need of cash. Therefore, any prospect of a production cut is out the window. Then you have a President Trump who's gonna unleash domestic production, drilling, fracking, brand new technologies will be applied to extract oil, which will make US most likely the #1 oil producer in the world, and slower demand for oil across the board. So it's foolish when you see these program trading crooks that create these absolute terror moves to the upside. You know that it's all fake because they create them in order to run stops, also create better shorting opportunities for themselves, only to see the market reverse and crash to the low as it did today, as it did yesterday. And now we are in a breakdown mode because we closed below the low of this multiple consolidation that took place, and market is wide open to drop towards 44.78 and then in my opinion 44. And in the very big picture, my downside target is $35 a barrel, but that's big picture, not today or tomorrow or next week even. So if we come up, 46.05 is resistance 1, 46.38 resistance 2, and then after that 46.70 resistance 3, and obviously 47 to 47.10, which was today high, which I do not see at all being reached. But then again, it's only my opinion. I may be totally wrong. Market does what it wants to do regardless of what you think or don't think. So this is the outlook. We're going to be watching very carefully the overnight to see if market can break today's high and make a brand new high in ES in order to set record, and see if we can get follow through up, or if it's going to be a marginal break with a trap in place. Thank you for listening. If you wish to learn market profile, join my trading room. You can get the package with all my courses at my website. The cost is $550. That includes 1 year membership to my trading room, and you can also have a 2 days trial to check it out. Till the next time, and have a good trading day for tomorrow.